not even sure if anybody can see me at this point right now, because I don't know what's going on. YouTube is being super lame this morning. So we'll see if this works. I'm live. Oh, wow. Yeah. I can actually see the chat in the bottom down there, too. Yeah. Is it clear, too? Shit, I might actually just do this shit from my phone from now on. Can you hear me? Is it clearer than normal also? I'm actually using my Galaxy S8 right now because something's up with the Mac. It's just a mess right now. Alright, I guess I'm going to be doing this from my phone then. Oh my god, this is a mess. Ugh. YouTube stuff is such a shit show. When it comes to their own programs, YouTube stuff is really just a giant shit show. It's pretty terrible. And my arm's gonna get real tired soon, so I'm gonna figure out how to prop this thing up right now. If not, it's gonna get really annoying. Ugh. I'm not using Google Hangouts, for one. I'm just doing it straight live. Fuck it, I'm doing it live. Like, our buddy, what's his face, used to say. Well, not really a buddy, the guy turned out to be a giant asshole. So, good morning, everyone. Good, beautiful morning. Let's try this again, see if this works. Trying to figure out how to prop this up, because I'm trying this for the first time. Oh, man. Pardon the coffee. Okay. It's 17:33. I want to get into Valiant, but I just want to read Harbinger. Can I just read that series, or would I need every other book? That's the beauty of Valiant. Valiant is really, really good at just doing that stuff. Valiant is really good at... I'll explain later. Valiant is really good at just keeping their universe very tight niche, very closed off, and very... You just need to read Harbinger, and you're fine with Harbinger. You don't need to read anything else. If you do that, you'll be absolutely fine. You could read just whatever you want in Valiant, and Valiant is really good at that. That's why I love Valiant so much, because they are great at just giving fans what they want. I just want to read Harbinger, that's fine. You can just read Harbinger. You don't have to worry about anything. Versus something like Marvel, where if you want to read a tie-in, or if you want to read something, you gotta, go through the hassle of all that mess. Morning, baby. Akira box set question. Yes, I answered your Akira box set question. You didn't get to hear it. My understanding, and I'd have to double check this, but if you want, shoot me a PM after this, just to be 100% certain, but my understanding is that the Akira box set is in hardcovers, and that is what they are. They are premium edition hardcovers. They did not skimp out and give you guys some soft cover crap. They are top of the line hardcover editions that I think you guys will enjoy. What do you make of Spider-Man's Clone Saga from the 90s? I'm rereading it. The new release. You know, I never delved too much into the Clone Saga, mostly because I'm not a fan of too many 90s comics. I don't hate them, contrary to what some people would have you believe out there. I don't hate every single 90s comic that's out there, and I've probably put out that feeling as well from some of the stuff that I've said. I don't hate them. I'm not a fan of the Clone Saga, at least a little bit that I have read, because I think the Clone Saga is a bit of a convoluted mess. So there's that. Avi, I think you follow me on Twitter, if I'm not mistaken. And if you do, just send me a message on Twitter, or send me a message through. I'm pretty sure you're either a patron or you follow me on Twitter or something like that. Just send me a message through there and I'll get back to you. Babylon Shadows. I noticed you have this box that says the bigger black box or something like that. What is it? It looks interesting. That's Cards Against Humanity. Yeah, totally off topic to what Jess asked. Are you into sports? I am actually. Not many sports. I was a bigger kid growing up, and I'm still kind of a bigger guy. I've always had weight issues, and that has to do also from like my depression and things like that growing up, and low self-esteem. So I was never good at sports. But I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I do train in that. I've trained in Muay Thai. Right now, I'm just doing Jiu-Jitsu when I can because my schedule's pretty busy right now. Um, but that's about the extent of it. I love UFC. I love mixed martial arts, all that stuff. So I've always been a fan of that. My dad instilled that in me when I was really young. When we would watch those old Tough Man videos, he'd get the VHSs and we'd sit down and watch them for like hours on end. So that's where my love for that stuff really, really comes from. Watchmen versus The Dark Knight. In my opinion, Watchmen is better. I would have to agree. I would have to agree. Should I read Scott Pilgrim? The whole series is going on Amazon UK for really cheap, and I'm thinking about picking it up. Are you picking up the colored edition, or are you picking up the black and white edition? Because the black and white edition is not bad. Ooh, covered some of the camera. The black and white edition isn't bad, but the colored editions are just phenomenal. They are phenomenal stuff that you really do owe it to yourself to really look at getting. Any comic book channels that you watch? Yeah, Captain Cummings. No, fuck that guy. I don't watch him. Just kidding. I don't want to start a war with anybody on YouTube. I don't want to start a war with anybody on YouTube. But no, I don't watch his channel. Anybody on YouTube that I watch? I like Joel. Cape Joel is really good. I liked his stuff. Obviously, there are the big guys out there. Comics Explained, guys like that everybody kind of watches them. I like Comics Explained a lot. He's a pretty cool dude. What's the other one? Oh, Comic Storian. I don't, and I don't. He doesn't even give a shit about Comic Pop. Is great. I love Comic Pop. Sal and those guys. Sal, Joel, and I'm mistaken the big guy that's from Comics Explained. I apologize. Rob. Those guys make the weekly poll for me. I watch the weekly poll as well. I can't stand Benny. I cannot fucking stand Benny. I think he's annoying and pretentious, which is part of the reason why I don't watch Comic Storian. He puts out great content, don't get me wrong, but Benny as a person, I just can't stand. So that's why yes, I'm one of those guys that every single time he is on the weekly poll, I instantly just turn it off because I can't watch it. You and Rob are my main go-to channels. You two are great. Man, that is extremely flattering considering where Rob is. That is, thank you so much. And of course, Omni Dog's Vault. You need to drop a diss check. Can you recommend / read what unusually interesting narrative voices and structure? With unusual yet interesting narratives, voices of structure. I don't know. Not off the top of my head. Hey HC, got the Cowboy Ninja Viking Deluxe. The story really disappointed me with Chris Pratt signed on in the movie greenlit for 2019. When's the best time to sell my hardcover? Get rid of it now. I wasn't even crazy about Cowboy Ninja Viking. I think I forgot what I'm pretty sure I did a review of it early on, and even then I wasn't like too crazy about it. I was like, this isn't really something I'm enjoying too much. I wasn't crazy about it. I just had a look at the Scott Pilgrim collection and it doesn't specify whether they're in color or not. The individual volumes, so I'll assume that they're the standard edition. The hardcover editions are the ones that you want to get. The hardcover editions are the ones that are in color. The trade paperbacks are in black and white. What are your thoughts on the new Rick and Morty season? I haven't seen the new Rick and Morty season. Huh? Yeah, I ate already. I haven't seen the new Rick and Morty season. There's no milk. It went bad. A little bit we had just went bad, so. But I know Pickle Rick is life, and Pickle Rick is the new savior of the world. Yeah, you got to get to season 3 to know what's going on. Pickle Rick is a huge meme that's going on right now, baby. Oop, there we go. Was the Vision Director's Cut worth it? Haven't read Vision, but the Deluxe is only the Director's Cut. I don't know what's in the Director's Cut, to be completely honest. I wish I could give you a definitive answer. I haven't looked into it. I know that just because Vision's getting a hardcover, that I'm going to want to get it. Because I want to support Vision. And because Vision is awesome. And everything involving Vision is great. And I've said Vision a whole lot in the past minute. I think I'm just going to have to film this shit from my phone from now on. Oh my god. Ugh. Dun, 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 dun. Where can I get the colored edition? You can get the colored editions. I'm pretty sure you can get them on Amazon. No. Okay, this I do know. Okay, the director's cut of Vision, what it is that you are getting 2 in 1. So the first issue has issues 1 and 2 inside of it. The second issue has issues 2 and 3 inside of it, etc., etc., etc. So that's the reason there's only 6 issues. There's actually 12 issues, but all of them are condensed in 6 issues. I hope that makes sense. They decided to go that route for some reason with the director's cut. So each issue of the 6 issues is 2 in 1. I hope that makes a lot of sense, and I hope that helps you out, man. So the director's cut hardcover will have, you know, all of it. It'll contain the entire thing. And my girl and I, we just started watching Rick and Morty probably like 2-3 weeks ago, and we've been enjoying the hell out of it. It's been phenomenal. It's so brilliant. It's so funny. Like, my girl thought it was a kid's show. Yeah, she thought it was a fucking kid's show, and then when we put on the first episode, her mind was blown when she realized it wasn't a kid's show. She thought it was something along the lines of like The Regular Show or something like that. Oh, her reaction was priceless. I think my favorite episode so far of Rick and Morty that I've seen is the one with Snowball, where the dog gets sentience. And he's like he's at Morty's dad's bed, and he's asking where his testicles are. Oh my god, I died laughing. Where are my testicles, Summer? Yeah. Oh my god, I died laughing during that part. Hardcover, are you picking up volume 14? Am I picking up volume 14 of Tokyo Ghoul? Now I'm starting to think it might be my internet. Am I picking up volume 14 of Tokyo Ghoul this week? I only have the first 10 volumes of Tokyo Ghoul, and I've only read the first like 2, so I'm really behind, so I don't plan on picking that up. And finances are really tight because I just started working again. Speaking of work, I am making this announcement right now. I'm looking for something else. I have to. So if you know anybody or anything that pays about 40 grand a year, let me know. I'm burned out. This is me being completely transparent. I'm just burned out at this point. I can't do it anymore. So I'm looking for something else. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. In what field? I will take just about anything. Yeah. At this point, I just need to make 40 grand a year. No. Actually, my girl doesn't want to stay in Orlando. I will happily move I will honestly happily move if I could find something that pays 40 grand a year. She wants to get out of Orlando bad. Sales, I'll do it. Right now, I'm doing the teaching thing right now, and I am burned out because it's been 5 years. So I'm kind of in the market and looking for something else. Come to Texas. That's what somebody just wrote. The minute you said, come to Texas, my girl just literally said, let's move to Texas. Holy shit. It's a sign. and I'm freaked out a little bit right now. Do you have a wire tapped into my house? Baby, check the lamps. Check the lamps, check the lights, check everything we have in the house. We're being tapped. Wow, that was weird. I'll see if my company has anything open. Starting base salary is mid 40,000 plus decent commish, average mid 50 every year. Wow, Jay, what is it that you do if you don't mind me asking? If you want a job in sales, look up Galeria Farms in Miami. I'll put in a good word for you. My girl has family in Miami. Work for network structure and I work for a network infrastructure distributor. Boring, but it pays the bills. Annixter is the company name. Well, that's pretty cool. What is it that I would have to do specifically? Because I've never worked for a network infrastructure. Honestly, I don't mind working a 9 to 5. I just need a change of pace. You know what, Jay? Just message me. You have me on Facebook. You know where I'm at. Just message me and we could talk about it later. I don't want to put your business out there on live chat for everybody to see, okay? Knees weak, arms are heavy. Thanks for the Eminem lyrics. Make a social justice warrior comic channel. You'll get the views. No, there's plenty of those out there. I won't go on my weekly rant again on those channels because I don't want to give them any more attention. They get enough unwanted attention as it is. People complain too much about social justice warrior comics. Hey, you know what? There's a base out there. There's a base out there for that stuff, and you know, my hat's off to anybody out there that's living in Charlottesville this past week. That whole situation is just such a nightmare. I'm sorry, man. That whole situation in Charlottesville is just my I don't pray. I'm not a praying person because, as many of you know, I'm an atheist, but my thoughts go out to you guys out there. Jay, wow, you live an hour away from Charlottesville. How's the tension out there? What's the omnibus you're looking forward to the most this year or in the upcoming months? I want the New Gods one, man. The New Gods omnibus is going to be great, especially now with the whole Tom King's Mr. Miracle. Yeah, I can imagine it's a bit crazy. I'm happy that you're not like in the middle of that you're at least an hour away from there. Just everything going on out there is nuts, man. Stay safe. The New Gods omnibus, yes. Gabe, I would totally add you, but I'm not entirely sure how to add you while I'm using this thing, so I'll have to figure that out later. I don't think I can when I'm using my phone like this. Is the Dark Tower comic worth it? I have heard that if you are a fan of the Dark Tower books, and if you've read the Dark Tower books, it's a fantastic supplemental material to those books. Having said that, I've heard that if you have not read the Dark Tower books, you will be a little bit lost. I've tried reading the first hardcover, the Gunslinger one. I had no clue what the fuck was going on in that book. Yeah, apparently it's very slavish to the books, to the books. I probably won't. I told you, I'm not really buying omnibuses. I can't afford omnibuses. So I would like to have it. You asked me if I would like to have it, but I'm not buying it. Dun, 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 no worries, you're at Starbucks. What are you drinking at Starbucks? I only read comics and manga. I'll probably never steer clear from the Dark Tower comics in that case. You know what I'm reading right now? Because the movie is coming out. I'm reading It by Stephen King. God damn. Holy shit, that book is freaky. That book, man, I'm only about 30 pages into it, and it's really good, and it flies by. Like, I started it yesterday, and when it comes to prose novels, I can be a bit slow in terms of reading them. I'm just not a fast reader with prose. Comics are a different story. Um, but I flew through 30 pages without even realizing that I was going through 30 pages. It's nuts. Jay, I'm not ignoring you right now. I just can't respond right now. I'll look at the messages you sent me on Facebook once I finish the chat. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. I'm reading the Heroes of Ages and same thing with you, Avi. I'm not ignoring you. I can't like open it while I'm doing this. Check out Prophet by Graham. Trade paperbacks. Yeah, Prophet's good. Prophet is really good. Prophet is one of those image series that's underrated. The art is great inside of it. I'm reading The Hero of Ages of Brandon Sanderson. Huh, never heard of it. You watched Train to Busan. You enjoyed it. Awesome, man. I'm happy to hear it. Yeah, big shout out to Jess. Yeah, well, I'll leave him to make the announcement that he's nothing tragic happened to him. He's healthy, he's fine, but yeah, I'll leave him to make the announcement as to what's happened to him in regards to collecting and stuff like that. He's fine. He's not gonna die, and he doesn't have anything sick to him. Just something ended up happening. Watch the Train to Busan film. Have you read Scott McCloud stuff? Understanding and Sculptor. I've read Sculptor. I've reviewed Sculptor on this channel. I thought it was really good. Sculptor's a really fun and really solid read. I enjoyed Sculptor a lot. I didn't love it. I think I ended up giving it a borrow. I think it was really, really dark for my taste, and when I was reading it, I was in kind of a real bad place. So me reading, I was like, oh my god, I needed something that was a bit more uplifting at the time. So I think what I ended up doing was I read Sculptor, and then I ended up reading something else in return. I was like, oh my god, I don't want to read this anymore. Just finished the Deadpool Beginnings omnibus. Meh. I've never read Deadpool Beginnings. Surprisingly, I've read very little Deadpool. I am not a Deadpool enthusiast or like a professional or somebody that's obsessed with Deadpool. It's just not a character that I've really ever loved. Uh, the only stuff that I've read of Deadpool is a little bit of the Daniel Way stuff, um, a little bit of Joe Kelly, and a little bit of the Posehn stuff. Deadpool's a character that's never really interested me. Why is Hellboy not in your top 5? I don't know what you mean. Have you read the Jeff Loeb Colors trilogy? Daredevil Yellow, Spider-Man Blue, Hulk Gray. I got Daredevil Yellow delivered today, and it seems pretty well. I've never read it. I have heard that it's really good. That his trilogy of colors is really good. There's another one, Captain America White, I think is what came out, which, oh, man, poorly named book. But I have heard it's his best stuff. I just started Invincible. Hasn't grabbed me, but I'll keep at it. I want to buy some DC comics while they're on sale. Any suggestions of something I should get that's not superhero related? Anything that's not superhero related. If you haven't read Preacher, I always recommend Preacher. There's the essentials, Preacher, Sandman, Transmetropolitan, books like that. Especially, I don't know how big you are into politics, but Transmetropolitan is scarily relevant more today than it has ever been. Incredibly, terrifyingly scary how relevant Transmetropolitan is today. Like it's Warren Ellis fucking nailed it. It's man, this is gonna be my final week buying books for a couple of months to save up for nursing school. and I don't know how I'm going to get by without doing so. Man, let me tell you something from friends that have gone through nursing school. You won't have time to read comics. But I am wishing you the best on your new adventure, man, and yeah, go crush it. Do well in nursing school. Yeah, you need to. Transmetropolitan is to me and will always will be Warren Ellis's greatest work. Transmetropolitan is just on another level. That was Warren Ellis when he was firing on all cylinders, and I think it's like 70 issues of just pure Warren Ellis social commentary. Brilliant, brilliant, and I mean this brilliant stuff. It's incredible. I don't read indie. I've read Saga and enjoyed it, but keep wanting to read superhero comics. Help me think outside the box. How are you with manga? Because if you love superhero comics and if you never really kind of delved into manga, my advice is pick up the first volume of My Hero Academia. It's a superhero manga, and it's really good. It's really good. You probably enjoy it. There are only two absolute editions. Yes, there are only two absolute editions currently available for Transmet. The third one comes out next year. And Gabe actually went on Twitter and asked the publisher that, and the publisher confirmed that we are getting the third and final absolute Transmetropolitan. Yeah, if Jay, if you just give it a try. I think the first volume of My Hero Academia is only like $8, so if you don't really end up liking it, you can always return it, or you can always, through Amazon. You only spent $8. You didn't spend too much money. But I love the fuck out of My Hero Academia. It's my favorite ongoing manga right now. And it's great if you're only into superheroes and if you're only into Western comics. The mangaka, the writer of it, his inspiration was Spider-Man. Yeah, you should be able to get it digitally. Yeah. I'm reading JoJo Part 3 right now. I need to dive into JoJo, but I've heard JoJo is so weird to dive into. I don't even know where to start. What's my opinion on One Piece so far? I'm only 6 volumes into One Piece so far, but it feels like all Ichiro is doing is he's setting up. He's setting up for a bigger story and he's building up to something. And I've heard that's pretty much how it is all the way through about the first 12 volumes, and then he really starts getting into things. But I'm enjoying the ride so far. Oh, thank you. What are you eating? Ooh, that looks good. I poured myself a bowl of cereal, but the milk was bad.
I could have made you something.
No, that's fine. I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter at all. Grant Morrison's Action Comics. Any thoughts? I've read a little bit of it, and I thought it was fun. I dug it. It was really cool how he reintroduced Superman to the New 52, and the whole idea of him, having the boots and the t-shirt and everything. I dug it. I thought it was a real fun ride. It was a shame that Morrison had to leave so soon, because I really liked what he was doing, but, that is what it is. That's comics for you, right, folks? Don't start with a manga, watch the anime, and then read the manga. Interesting, because I actually started the other way around, and I prefer reading the manga. Nothing against the anime, because the anime is phenomenal, and the anime has Chris Sabat, who's the voice of Piccolo, Vegeta, and he crushes it as All Might. He is fantastic as All Might. Have you been keeping up with DC's The Button or Batman Metal events? I have not. I think Batman Metal starts this week, I want to say, and I'm going to be picking that up digitally, so I'm looking forward to that. Okay, opinion about Secret Empire. I haven't read it. What I've seen of it and what I understand of it, and how there's a whole lot of people online that are like, it's anti, it's social justice warrior bullshit, all this other blah, blah, blah. Setting that stuff aside, I was never crazy about the concept of Captain America becoming what is essentially the Marvel equivalent to a Nazi. I was never really nuts. I wasn't crazy about it. I'm just not that type of person that digs the whole shock value, but I've heard it's actually really well done. So I plan to read it all once it's up on Marvel Unlimited, because that's the reason that I've been selling off a lot of my hardcovers. More specifically, I've been selling off a lot of my Marvel stuff. Have you guys noticed that? Because I bought Marvel Unlimited for $6 for like, no, I think it was like $10 a month. I get to read thousands and thousands of comics, and I get to read. I'm only 6 months behind on what's current, versus me spending like $120 for an omnibus. So economically, it doesn't make any sense for me right now where I'm at to buy these really expensive hardcovers. That said, I still am going to get the Image hardcovers, and I plan to get some of the DC stuff because they don't have a Marvel Unlimited subscription. So, and I plan to get some of the more popular hardcover editions, like the Vision one. The reason my video quality looks amazing is because I'm filming on my Galaxy S8 right now, because my MacBook was crapping out on me for some reason. Well, people didn't want Otto Octavius to become Spider-Man at first, and then Superior Spider-Man became one of the most critically acclaimed. That's very true. But I haven't, honestly, I can't give you a definitive opinion on Secret Empire, simply because I haven't read it. And it wouldn't be fair to Nick Spencer if I'm just blasting it, or if I'm saying, oh, it's terrible or something like that, because it's not, it's not fair to the guy. We need to get Lewis a legit camera. That'd be nice. It would be nice to have a legit camera. It would be nice to have a lot of things right now. It would be nice to make this my full-time job, but it's not happening anytime soon. So, anybody want to start up a Get Lewis a legit camera fund? What does a good Nikon go for anyway? What, $400?
Depends.
Depends? Yeah.
Depends what you want.
Yeah, it depends on what you want.
Mine was about 700.
Huh?
Mine was about 700.
Yours was about 700 when you paid for it before it broke on you? Yeah.
It's not broken.
It's not?
No.
Where is it?
My parents' house.
Oh, it's at your parents' house. Okay, that's why it's not here. Do you watch Back Issues? I think it's one of the funnest comic shows. I don't. I haven't seen Back Issues yet. And Gabe, I want a legit camera too. Gabe, you have bigger problems to worry about, pal. Christmas is coming. It is coming. Not reading something is never... That's very true. That's very true. No, I'm fine. Thank you, baby. Sub or dub? Depends. It depends on what I'm watching. My girl prefers dub. My girl prefers dub. I personally don't care. I know there's a huge sub versus dub war going on right now in the anime community. For My Hero Academia, it's dub. I prefer the dub version. For Dragon Ball Super, I'm actually watching the sub version, and I prefer that. Except for Goku's voice, I'm not really I'm not really crazy about that. It sounds like a 70-year-old chain-smoking woman. It sounds pretty bad. That's because it is probably a 70-year-old chain-smoking woman. I think it's an old lady that does his voice in Japanese. For things such as, let me think. Full Metal Alchemist, I preferred the dub, even though the sub isn't bad. A lot of the Studio Ghibli stuff, I prefer the sub. Trying to think what else. How's Hellsing Ultimate? Hellsing Ultimate, I've heard, is actually really good. You liked Hellsing, right, baby? You liked Hellsing, right?
Yeah.
Do you know that they remade it? Hellsing Ultimate? Yeah. Into a 12-episode series where like the animation is like top notch now. Yeah, it's up. I think it's up on Crunchyroll. Yeah, my girl loves Hellsing. I've never seen it. I take it back. I've seen bits and pieces. Hellsing Ultimate kicks all sorts of ass. Okay, you guys are selling me on Hellsing Ultimate. I'm gonna have to sit down and watch this. Is it on Crunchyroll? We also need to watch the Castlevania anime that was written by Warren Ellis. I still need to see that.
And you still need to finish Drifters.
And I still need to finish Drifters. She's right. If you like Train to Busan, ever seen the Korean movie Man from Nowhere? Might be on Netflix still. Great movie. I haven't. I want to. How about the Hugh Jackman Hellsing movie? You know what? That's a guilty pleasure.
I love that movie.
My girl loves that movie. It's a guilty pleasure for me. It's not great, but it's fun.
It is great. Fuck you.
And her exact words right now were, "It is great. Fuck you." Love you too. I love Hugh Jackman, so I love it by default. Hey, I'm a big Hugh Jackman guy also. If with Halloween coming up, you know what? Let's talk about some scary stuff. With Halloween coming up, what are some of you guys' favorite Halloween films? The ones that you put on every single year, because it's kind of like a yearly tradition. Halloween doesn't count because everybody watches Halloween on Halloween. Everybody does that crap. Nightmare Before Christmas is a Christmas movie.
I watch it for Christmas.
Yeah, it's a Christmas movie. I don't think it's a Halloween movie. You're not a big scary movie guy. Wow. If you have Netflix, I recommend the Magi series. Sinbad is the best main character ever. Yeah, my girl loves Magi. She's nodding her head in approval right now. Gabe, it's not a Halloween movie. Nightmare Before Christmas is not a Halloween movie.
I already declared that. My family watches it for Christmas.
Is there any required pre-reading for Hickman's Avengers? Is Hickman's Avengers a continuation? You picked up a good partner then. Thank you. It's not required, but there are going to be some things that Hickman carries over, actually a lot of things, from his Fantastic Four run. Namely things involving Black Panther. Those are going to be huge things, like why Black Panther is the king of the dead and things like that. Baby, don't put anything that streams.
What?
Don't put anything that streams because it's going to kill my stream.
Okay, Skyler.
Man, I can't watch anything dubbed. Their voices are too mundane. I mean, they still scream and holler, but not to the same effect as a sub, in my opinion. Okay, fair enough. It should be in that basket down there. The very end. God, Human Centipede. Okay, I saw the first Human Centipede, and I never saw the other ones. I fucking hated Human Centipede. Oh, God, that disgust. I am not somebody that gets easily disgusted. And the Human Centipede just blah, ugh. Oof. Watch The Halloween Tree. It's underrated and forgotten, but is emotional and beautiful. Huh. I'll check it out. If you want, okay, I've recommended this before. If you want a really great horror film, you're going to have to track this down. Actually, you can find it on Amazon. I recommended this a few weeks ago. Rec 1 and Rec 2. Phenomenal horror films. Rec 2 especially more so than Rec 1. Rec 1 was great, and they did a US remake of it with the chick from Dexter, the girl that nobody likes, the sister. And I believe it was called Quarantine. Don't watch Quarantine. Watch Rec 1 and then watch Rec 2. Don't watch Rec 3 and 4 because they're terrible. But Rec 2 is phenomenal. It's such a good horror film. You're going to need to watch it with subtitles because it is from Spain. Also, if you want a great Frankenstein horror film, I'm telling you guys, if you haven't seen this, watch The Skin I Live In. Oh my God, it's so good. The Skin I Live In is fantastic. It's with Antonio Banderas, and it was a few years ago. It's a phenomenal science fiction horror movie. Die Hard counts as a Christmas movie. How do you define a Christmas movie? Does it have to take place at Christmas, or does Christmas have to or does Christmas have to be central to the plot? Do Die Hard and Batman Returns count? That's a good question. Okay. Die Hard counts because it takes place during Christmas. So that means that Batman Returns would count as well because it does take take place during Christmas as well. So they are Christmas movies. How I define it is that in the movie it has to take place during Christmas or during like that week right before Christmas leading up to Christmas. That makes it a Christmas movie to me. So something along the lines like Lethal Weapon. Lethal Weapon is a Christmas movie. Believe it or not. Hocus Pocus? Hocus Pocus is a great movie. I'm not judging you. I love Hocus Pocus. I got you. Let me finish here. What's wrong with Hocus Pocus? You remember Hocus Pocus, right, baby?
I watched Halloween.
Huh?
I watched Halloween.
Do you remember it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I watched that movie maybe twice.
So cheesy. It is not. It is a classic. It is not. Okay, it might be a little bit. It might be a little bit cheesy, but it's still a classic. Come on, I Put a Spell on You. You remember that song? I put a spell on you. My favorite Christmas movie is Willy Wonka. It's not a Christmas movie, but I watch it every Christmas, so it counts. Okay, fair enough.
That one movie.
I'm the same. You know what? I have a similar situation to you. My favorite Christmas movie is actually Jesus.
Sorry, Daddy.
My favorite Christmas movie is actually Seven Samurai. Believe it or not. And it's because I watch it every single year for Christmas. It's like a 4 or 5 hour movie. And it's brilliant.
I forgot you got a new fucking PlayStation and I have to start my Skyrim all over again.
I love you.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you.
My girl's pissed.
What the fuck?
She's mad right now.
Fuck.
She's really pissed. We upgraded the living room set, and because we upgraded the living room set, the old PlayStation that we had was the PlayStation Basic. And because it was the PlayStation Basic, we couldn't use 4K HDR on it. So I got rid of the old PlayStation to get a PlayStation Pro so we could have 4K HDR, and because of that, her Skyrim save file was deleted. She's pissed. She's pretty pissed. Rightfully so. Godfather and Scarface, Thanksgiving tradition. That's a good Thanksgiving tradition. Can you lower that a little bit, please? I love you.
What?
Can you lower that a little bit and get the cat down from there?
I know, she wants so much.
You gave her that habit now.
I know, they're not real people.
Oh, if that's the case, I'm surprised she hasn't beaten you up yet. Oh, it's coming later. I'm a manly man, so I don't get scared by horror films. That being said, I just finished Series 2 of Daredevil, and I found it to be really gross because of how realistically violent it is. That's fair. That's really fair. Roughneck by Lemire. Is it any good? I haven't read it. Defenders. Yeah, Defenders is this Sunday, I want to say. Not this Sunday, this Friday. See? You gave her that bad habit. Now she won't stop doing it. What should I read? Invincible or Saga? I can't choose. My advice to you is that you read... You know what? Saga took a real dive for me after the second hardcover. It kind of seems like Vaughn is spinning his wheels a little bit. So I'm going to say Invincible. The only problem with Invincible is that the first 2 or 3 trades, it's not that great. Then it gets into the reveal of who Mark's father is and his heritage and everything, and that's when it really, really, really picks up. Still got Luke Cage and Iron Fist to watch, though. Luke Cage is good, you can skip Iron Fist. No, I take Luke Cage is good to great the first 6 episodes. And then they do the stupid thing where it seems like they ran out of gas halfway through it and they didn't know what to do for the other 12 episodes. And it just trailed off and it was terrible. Something happens in Luke Cage where there's a character that you're really interested in, and that character goes away, and I was like, oh my god, like there goes the show. Honestly, Luke Cage felt like it should have only been 8 episodes tops, but they had to hit that Netflix quota where they had to have like 13 episodes, and it went on too long. Had Luke Cage been a solid 8-episode series, we're dealing with Cottonmouth, we're dealing with him going to Harlem and stuff like that, it would have been perfect. But they just had to go a little bit longer than it should have. Hellsing is on Crunchyroll. Is it Hellsing Ultimate? Personally, Jessica Jones was my favorite. I fucking love David Tennant in it. My girl's favorite is Jessica Jones.
No.
And then Daredevil.
Have you seen the new preview?
Huh? For Defenders? Yeah, it comes out this Friday. Luke Cage was horrible. I enjoyed Iron Fist more. Why was Luke Cage at a barbershop instead of the bar? Shades got annoying. The reason Luke Cage was at the barbershop is that it's an homage to classic blaxploitation films. All of Luke Cage is basically just an homage to that time period. Does Jessica Jones get better? I haven't finished it and was kind of lost after the first few episodes. I don't think David Tennant even shows up until like the 4th or 5th episode, and that's when it really starts taking off, because Jessica Jones is a product of the villain completely overshadowing the main character, because David Tennant makes that show. Jessica's not bad in it by any stretch of the imagination. She's really good. But it's a case of like the Dark Knight syndrome, where you have a fantastic villain who overshadows the hero completely, and you're only really watching it to see that villain. Yeah, David Tennant crushes. David Tennant is the scariest fucking villain in the Marvel Universe. In the Marvel Cinematic Universe, he is the scariest villain, just because of his powers and what he does inside of that 13 episode series. He completely owns that role. He totally owns that role. I loved him in it. I forgot what episode is it, because David Tennant doesn't come in until a little bit later into the series. I think he comes in like the 4th episode. Alias is great. Alias is really great. It's probably the second best thing that Bendis has ever written, aside from his Daredevil. You know it's tough when your wife is in the other room and orders you and texts you to order her food for lunch. First world problems. I've been there. In fact, my girl just held up a sign in front of my face that said she wants chocolate now. So guess where I'm going after this?
Now I deserve it because of fucking Skyrim.
She says now she deserves it because of Skyrim. Put her on the porch.
No, I'm not going to condemn her to.
Okay. Both Hellsing and Ultimate are on Crunchyroll. I guess we're watching Hellsing Ultimate later. Are you going over to your mom's today?
No.
Oh, you're staying here today? Okie doke. Is that a cat I hear? Yes, it is a cat. We have a cat. We have one cat, and we have a Shar-Pei Ridgeback dog. And we apparently are going to get 2 more cats later on. Not my choice.
Excuse me?
Not my choice. 2 more cats later on, and we're going to be fostering 3 other cats for at least a week until she can find them until the owners of the new cats come and pick them up. I'm going to be living on a farm. I love cats. I have 2. I love cats too. When the missus wants a cat, you damn well better get her a cat. Well, the whole reason The whole reason we have the situation with the cats is because her sister's cat ended up having a litter. So we're like, you know what, we have a cat, our cat is kind of lonely, and it really needs to develop better social skills, so let's get one cat. So we ended up going over to her parents' house, and we saw these two cats out of the 5, and they were always together, and they were twins. So like an idiot, I'm like, oh, well, I bet we're going to end up taking both cats, saying it jokingly. 2 days later, we're taking both cats. Oh, God. I didn't have a say in the matter. And we're going to be fostering a dog in a few weeks. Because apparently my girlfriend's cousin, you don't mind if I say this, right?
No.
Okay. My girlfriend's cousin is a piece of, well, he's a piece of shit. He's an asshole. And I'll explain to you why. This is becoming more of a vlogging series than a Q&A this Sunday. I don't know what's going on. Okay, so basically what ended up happening, my girlfriend's great-grandmother passed away in November. One of the conditions of her cousin getting the house and all this other stuff, because he ended up getting...
He wanted to keep the dog in the bed.
Right, because my cousin ended up getting the grandma's house. He lives in it for free. He doesn't pay the rent. He doesn't pay anything. The house is paid off. Was to just keep the dog in the family. So, what ended up happening was that he goes to a shelter this past week, and he says, I'm getting rid of the dog that that the grandma left because I want a new dog from the shelter. So I'm going to put this one up for adoption because he wants a new dog. Mind you, this is the dog that the great-grandmother, her last dying wish, literally was to keep this dog in the family. So now we're taking in this dog. He's not staying here for life. And we're trying to find it. We're going to try to find it a new home. So if anybody lives in the Orlando area and you are looking for a dog, he's a really sweet dog apparently. Let me know.
30 pounds now.
Yeah, he's like 30 pounds. Let me know. Reach out to me and we can work something out. My girlfriend, she's trained dogs before. Yeah. And her father used to train dogs professionally, so she knows how to train them. So she's going to work with them. Just let me know. We really just want it to go to a good home. That's extremely nice of you, Liz. Oh, it's not my choice. I mean, thank you. It's really nice, but I was taking a shower and she walked in yesterday and she goes, hey, we're getting a dog. And I said, what? So it really wasn't my choice, but, you know... Once she explained to me why, once she explained, take the credit, damn it. I'll take the credit. Once she explained to me why, and I was like, yeah, we have to. I'm not that big of a heartless bastard. Did you hear about Mark Millar comic shows? I talked about that earlier. Maine Coons are the coolest looking cats, but they're bloody expensive. Isn't Dusty a Maine Coon?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, my girl has a Maine Coon. Her family has one. He was a stray. They found him in an engine block. The sweetest cat. Just the sweetest little cat in the world. My neighbor has a Shar-Pei. They're awesome looking dogs. This one, he's more Ridgeback than Shar-Pei.
Head is Shar-Pei, the body is Ridgeback.
Yeah, his head is Shar-Pei, the body is Ridgeback. Fucking hell, make sure you look after that cat. Oh, we don't have him. He's at my girlfriend's father's house, at their parents' house. Is it hard to find the Astonishing X-Men omnibus? I'm assuming you're talking about the Joss Whedon run. If that's the case, yes. It's very, very difficult to find. Does he have floppy skin? No, no, he doesn't have floppy skin. He's actually got a pretty basic coat, and that's him right now. Baby, they want to see Duke. Huh? Alright, she's gonna get him in a minute.
Sit.
See if I can bring the camera down. I'll bring the camera down to his level. Hey, sit.
Sit. Okay.
Yeah, he looks more Pit than anything, but he's not. Everybody mistakes him for a red-nosed Pit. He's a good dog, though.
He's attached to me like that.
Yeah, he's attached to my girl obsessively.
Stay.
Yeah, he looks like a pit more than anything else.
Sit. No, but if they were to see him in person, they'd see the shark.
Yeah, if you see him in person, you'd actually notice more Shar-Pei. Everybody says the same thing in pictures until they actually see him in person. Astonishing X-Men. Does your pet understand Spanish? No. Well, actually, a little bit. A little bit.
You know, some commands are in Spanish, some commands are in English.
Is Astonishing X-Men worth reading after Volume 4? I've heard it's not. I've heard that once you finish... And the thing is, Whedon wraps everything up so nicely you don't need to read it after. Didn't... Gabe would be able to correct me on this if I'm wrong, but I thought Ellis took over after Whedon? Or it was shortly after Whedon or something like that? Yeah, Gabe would be able to tell me if I'm wrong or not. Mine just looks like an angry towel. Yeah, Warren Ellis takes over. Daredevil by Bendis Omnibus or the Ultimate Collection of Bendis? Whatever way you want to read the story. If you get your hands on the Omnibus, they're hard to come by. Because they haven't reprinted them yet. So I would recommend you get the Omnibus. I've heard Ellis's run isn't terrible. I've heard it's not bad. Just, I've heard it's not as good as Whedon's run. I loved Whedon's run. Joss Whedon's run on X-Men was so good. And this was John Cassaday before he was really phoning it in. This was John Cassaday at the top of his game. The end of the year is going to be hard on the old wallet, which is why I went mostly digital, because it's easier on me. Although I do want that Planet Hulk omnibus. It's the Ghost Box storyline. Never heard of the Ghost Box storyline. So yeah, like I was saying earlier, I am looking for a new job. So if anybody out there has any connections, Jay, you messaged me already. I promise I'll get back to you as soon as I finish this thing, and I'll take a look at what you're offering, as well as your company. I just need something that pays 40 grand a year. So if anybody has anything out there, I'm exhausted from the whole teaching thing. I've been doing this for 5 years, and I'm burned out really badly, like really badly. Come to Vegas. Baby, we should move to Vegas.
Isn't that the obese capital?
Isn't it? Yeah, isn't Vegas the obese capital of the world? That's what I've heard. How is the housing market out there, Gabe, in terms of Vegas? Can I get something pretty good? Gabe says, no, that's America. My friend has told me that X-Men Gold is really good and newcomer friendly, and the first trade is coming out in September. My pre-order. I haven't read that. That's a Riley question. Housing market's cheap out there right now? I would imagine. I've heard it's not bad. I think it was you that told me it wasn't bad when you came down here in Orlando. We started talking about houses and stuff. Did you ever finish the run of Jeff Loeb and Hulk? I've never finished it. No. But with legal weed and all the sports coming, it's going to blow up. That's right. You guys are getting, yeah, it's going to, yeah, wow. Yeah, your house is going to skyrocket in price probably. Think I'm going to get a buzz on today. Who's with me? It's my birthday weekend, so I have an excuse. Man, that sounds really good because I have to go back to work tomorrow. So I think I'm going to be on for about another 5 minutes. I've got to get some other stuff done. I should be doing, no, I can't actually. I was thinking about doing a Twitch live stream later today. I still might do it, but it won't be tonight because tonight's Game of Thrones night. So I might not do it tonight because we're going to have a whole bunch of people over for Game of Thrones tonight. The school district is desperate for teachers, especially special ed. Do you know what the starting salary is for a teacher out there? As a Magnolia fan, is Rise of the Black Flame and Joe Golem, a cult detective, worth buying? Ooh, good question. I haven't read Joe Golem. I don't think Joe Golem is in the Hellboy universe, though. I've never looked into it. Rise of the Black Flame is in the Hellboy universe, so yes, worth buying. Gabe is a pro at predicting comic book prices. Do you read Gwenpool? Gwenpool is a series that I am dying to start. I am dying to get into it because I've seen some scans online and it looks really fascinating. I love the idea of it, and I'm really looking forward to starting it. Your son's clinic is looking for autism teachers too. Oh, that's awesome, dude. I mean, it's not awesome that they're looking for teachers, but it's awesome that, you know, if I were to go out there, I could find something. Yeah, the goal right now is just 40,000. I will take just about anything that is 40,000 and that it would allow me to still be able to do YouTube. Because that's what I'm making right now as a teacher, which is nothing. I've been doing this for 5 years and I'm barely making anything. But you don't get, the thing is also, you know, going into this, I realized I wasn't going to get rich. But I didn't realize how quick I would get burned out because I've been doing this for 5 years. So now I'm really, really, really exhausted from it. I just need a change of pace. And I think that happens to everybody. If you stick with something long enough and if you stick with the repetitiveness and the career and you don't move up and you just keep doing that grind every single day in, day out, Monday through Friday, you eventually kind of get burned out of it. And right now, I just need a change of pace. Yeah, so Jay, you understand where I'm at then. It's awesome because they're expanding and taking in more kiddos and need the extra staff. Oh, that's cool, dude. I'm happy. I'm happy for that. That's really good that they're expanding. Oh, easily I've done sales for too long. Yeah. How's that intro to Skyrim, baby?
What?
Nothing. You can live off 40K here easily. Wow, that's cool. Yeah, you really can't live off 40K here easily in Orlando. It's expensive here. Just as kind of to show you guys, you know, I'm paying right now $1,000 a month for a 1-bedroom. That is how bad the rent is here. $1,000 a month for a 1-bedroom. Yeah. Yeah. And that's the low end. But I'm in a decent, the thing is, I'm not even in a high-end area of Orlando. We're not in a low end either. We're just right in the middle.
If we went to high end, it would be 14 for
Yeah. If we were to go to a high-end area of Orlando, we'd easily be paying about $14,000 just for a 1-bedroom. It's that bad here. Skyrim is a phenomenal game, but the intro pisses me off. It's way too long and slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And you can hear it in the background if you heard the lightning just now. Your mortgage is a little over $1,000, and you've told me about your house. I know I'm paying way too much for where I'm living, but it's either this or we go to a really low-end area of Orlando. And, you know, you hear about Orlando and you hear about Kissimmee and you hear about, oh, you know, it's next to Disney and stuff like that. Anybody that comes to this area and lives here for a while can attest. Disney, Universal, all those areas are nice. The areas around them are shit. They are run down. All you have to do is take a drive down Kissimmee and 192, which is the area that I grew up in, and you will see drug dealers, you will see homeless people, you will see people that just live in hotels because they have absolutely no choice. Everything around Disney in the Orlando area is terrible. And you've got your little pocket areas that are okay, where you've got Celebration, you've got little areas off of where I live in Orlando that are okay. Granted, I live 5 minutes away from the airport, so that's probably why the area we live in isn't that bad. But yeah, it's a shithole out here. And then you have the situation where you have rent-controlled apartments, where with rent-controlled apartments, you can pay $600 for a one-bedroom apartment a month, but you have to make under a certain amount of money, and because I'm a teacher, I make way, way over that. I think to qualify for like a $600 rent-controlled apartment, you need to make at least a minimum of, I think it's like $25,000, $30,000 a year. So it's damned if you do, damned if you don't, you know? And that's just the situation of where we're seeing the decline of the middle class. We're seeing that the middle class doesn't really exist in the state that it used to a few years ago. Where it's becoming less and less a middle class and it's just poor, rich. It's like North Hollywood. People assume it's the glitz and glamour with celebrities everywhere. It's just really another terrible city in San Fernando Valley. I've never been to North Hollywood, so I can't say anything. But is it really that bad? Wow. There's no sales tax. There's no state tax in Nevada, and insurance isn't expensive as in Florida. Well, you work for an insurance company, so you know how bad the insurance is here in Florida. You know how bad it gets. Do you think Hulk by Peter David is hard to complete? Yes, it is. It's very hard to come across every single thing. I think Riley had a real tough time coming up. I think if he doesn't have it all, he's really close to having it all. But I think he even struggled to come up with every single thing from the Peter David Hulk run. There's no sales tax in Nevada and insurance. Oh man, that must be nice. I really need to go to Cali. Coding takes some time. Actually, I used to do a little bit of coding. I used to. I was back in. God, that was probably high school. I was a certified assistant web designer. Yeah, so I've dabbled in HTML. I've dabbled a little bit in things like that, and C++, and web design and things like that, but never really too seriously into it. And it's been a long time since I've ever coded anything. So I would have to pick up all those skills all over again. We have lovely property tax here in Virginia. What would you think about living in Virginia, baby? Huh? She says she doesn't know. Yeah, I'm trying to keep this balanced. Hold on, my arm's getting tired now. Virginia's a beautiful place. I bet it is. It's probably less humid than it is here. Yeah, but my advice for anybody that's looking at... Oh, you've hanged out with Jess before? My advice for anybody that's looking at... Yeah, Jess does love Virginia. Anybody that's looking at moving to Orlando and Kissimmee is that unless you move out to Celebration or St. Cloud, but in a good area of St. Cloud, just to stay away. Just stay away. It's really not the best place to raise a family or anything like that. And for the love of God, stay out of Kissimmee. Like, do not go to Kissimmee. Like, you'll find some cheap houses in Kissimmee, but there's a reason they are cheap. So, like I said this earlier, but I'm just going to give this another 5 minutes. This has been fun today. There's going to be a lot more content. I hear bath salts are better good in Florida. How's been the switch to digital? I do not regret it one bit. I don't regret it one bit. Have you noticed I've been selling a lot of my Marvel stuff in the Facebook group because I have Marvel Unlimited. So I don't really need a lot of it. So I'm just like, all right, there you go. I'm keeping a lot of my DC stuff because DC doesn't have a subscription like that. And I'm keeping all my manga stuff. And I've been diving more into manga lately. So that's part of the reason why I'm staying with that. And that's part of the reason why I haven't dove all the way digital yet. Have I been reading Kill or Be Killed? I've been meaning to order that damn book and I still have not. The first volume's only like $6. It's not expensive at all. I just need to get it. Jess recommends it a lot. Are you going to be buying more digital or waiting for the MCU to update? Depends. Depends on the book. Tom King's Mr. Miracle I am reading monthly because I can't wait. I need to know where this story goes. Even though that's a DC book, but I'm just kind of using it as an example. But also, there's nothing at Marvel that's really interesting me right now. And it's not the whole Marvel's pandering to social justice warriors or anything like that. That's not the reason why I'm not interested in anything in Marvel. It's just there's nothing story-wise that really grabs me, that really grips me right now. There's a few things that are out there that like I'm, kind of lightly keeping up with. The Thor story. I want to start Gwenpool and a few other titles here and there, Miss Marvel. But outside of those few little titles, there's really not much that's keeping me at Marvel. Mr. Miracle #1 is selling for $20 on eBay. And I'm assuming that's not even the variant ones. Did your Daredevil book sell? The only ones that I haven't been able to move yet are the Brubaker. I think it's the Brubaker set or the Bendis set, one of the two. I've got one pending for the Mark Waid set, and I was able to move the Frank Miller stuff. That's the standard cover? It's going for $20 on eBay? Wow. Would have thought that was the variant. I wonder how much the variants are going for. A lot of those variants are really rare. Okay. I think this is a good place to end this. Thank you once again, guys, for joining me. This has been fun. For those of you that message me on Facebook with regards to work and things like that and just asking me questions there, I will get back to you as immediately as possible, within the next few minutes, actually, because I'm going to sign off this. But thanks again, guys. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. It's in... you know where it is. Facebook at Hardcover Reviews, Twitter.com/Hardcover Reviews. Those are the best way to get a hold of me. And if you like this channel, you want to support this channel, you want to keep this alive, Patreon.com/Hardcover Reviews. There's going to be a few things coming out this week. There's going to be a What I've Been Reading this week. I should be filming that today. Wonder Woman reading order video. That's going to be coming out. Not a reading order video. Wonder Woman What to Read video, like a getting started video. That should be coming out this week. The script is written. I'm going to record the voice today and I'm going to edit it today. Patreon videos, Jess and Hardcover News Show will be coming out this week. I have to talk to Jess as far as when he can do it and if he can do it this week. He had a situation that happened this week. I don't know if he will. If not, I'm sure I could get Gabe or somebody to fill in. Yeah, well, look out for that stuff. And yeah, love you guys. Have a great week. Peace.